This is Ocarina of Time 3D Part 30.
Nice.
And in this part, we're going to start...
Switch it up a little bit there.
I bore myself sometimes saying the same things over and over again. But in this part, we're going to start taking on the Forest Temple, which is, Hick and I's, one of our all-time favorite dungeons.
Definitely agree with that. And I love that cinematic we got right there
Me
in
too.
this 3DS version that's actually not in the original version. And it shows a treasure chest that has a key that's actually very easy to miss.
Oh, I'm glad they added that because I can't tell you how many times I've forgotten about that.
You know what's shocking? Like, I actually never missed that key because, like, I saw the vines right there. And just, you know, I kind of want to see what was up there. So I actually, all times playing this game, never forgot that one.
It's sad, like, you would think after the first time you played it, you would remember that the key is there. But, man, I've probably forgotten it.
Okay, what about the water temple? I forget a different key every time I play through the water temple.
We'll deal with that when we get to the water temple.
I got this key. No, you don't.
I do like how they have this up here, like having these trees and stuff and the vines to climb up here to get this key. I just think it's a nice touch here to the opening part of the dungeon.
Back in my days when I wasn't as wise or smart, like I tried to make that jump instead of just using the hook shot right there, and that jump is incredibly hard from tree to tree.
It is. It's just a very narrow landing spot.
Okay.
But yeah, hook shot makes it much easier.
Now, one thing, the 3DS version, we've already mentioned one thing with the cinematic, but one thing I really liked is, I mean, the whole game stands out differently from the original version,
absolutely.
but I thought the Forest Temple, like, they were just able to add more detail to, like, the vines and the leaves and everything. And it just really stood out in this dungeon compared to some of the other ones in the game.
And I just love walking into, like, this main room here, and you see just those 4 torches lit up with the different colors, and just this elevator sitting there. And our entire, like, first 2/3 of this dungeon is basically just us trying to get that elevator to come back.
Yes, I just love the room right here. Now the pose, even though I do like really like this dungeon because
yes, you do.
One of my top dungeons, as we said. But that pose right there, you like. I always kind of find myself, do I really like that or do I not like that?
I'm kind of with you. It's kind of a pain hunting down all 4 of them, and the fights aren't very exciting, the Poe fights, and you'll see that. I think we have 2 of them.
They're pretty
in this
easy.
part. Yeah, they're easy. There's just not a lot to them.
I don't know if it's this part or not, but
one of these parts.
But anyways, like, you know, random the stained glass. I don't know if we had that. I think we did have that in the original version too.
It just looks so much better.
I just like that, and we talked about this in some of our other videos. But this place, as we get deeper in it, we'll kind of see this. It feels like this place used to be something bigger, like something more important, and now it's just kind of abandoned.
Absolutely. To me, it's just one of the few Zelda dungeons that actually looks like something. You know, whether it's a castle or a mansion or something out here in the middle of the
I've always seen it as a castle. Like, for me, it's too big to be a mansion. Like, you think of Snow Peak, and that's a pretty good sized mansion, but it's so much smaller than the Forest Temple. So I've always kind of looked at it, like I said, as a castle, and maybe some type. Going along with that, some type of royal grounds.
Exactly, and it's just, it seems like there's so few Zelda dungeons throughout the entire series that really feel like it's a house or a kind of thing. Like
except for Snow Peak Ruins,
and this one are the only ones I can think of just off the top of my head.
Now, I don't know if you saw that first staff post, but I finally used my shield in the Zelda game, and that guy got me good, but eventually I got down a little bit, and I actually think those guys are easier to fight with the shield because as soon as they hit you, you can kind of stab them real quick and get a shot in, so I used to kind of go around their backs to hit them, so.
Yeah, I was just surprised that the whole time you were fighting the first one, that the other one never got a shot in on you. I'm like, man, he's got to come stab you in the back. I was kind of paying attention.
Like, if I would have went closer to him, he definitely would have came after me. But like, you kind of got to keep your distance and you know, like circling around there. And that's what practice is for. Yeah. Because in practice, that's what you do. You run into that guy and you're like, oh crap, I can't do that.
Yeah.
Oh, I can go on and on. I'll keep on going then. That's fine.
Well, it's funny. We have talked about this dungeon in so many videos.
Well, we done 2 top. You did your top 10 Zelda dungeons, and then we did our overall top Zelda dungeons. And so within a matter of like 2-3 weeks, which is only like a month or 2 ago, we talked about this dungeon quite a few times. So
now we have to talk about it for a whole other half hour.
But okay, let's talk about. We've already talked about some stuff that we like, but I actually don't think we talked about the theme yet.
No, we haven't.
And it's one of my favorite dungeon themes in the whole Zelda franchise. It just creates that eerie, kind of dark sound that I usually don't like. But for this dungeon, I like it.
And it really fits with this being like an abandoned place, and you've kind of got these like dead enemies, like you
but
got the Stalfos and stuff.
You know, it kind of feels like that, but it doesn't in a way, because we'll see a dungeon later on that has that whole dead theme to it, and it's
yes,
not like it's not anywhere compared. Like this dungeon is not anything compared to that.
This is just more spooky.
Yeah, like spooky, eerie, not really.
Yeah,
but you know the pose. Yeah, but
I'm just repeating your points.
I thought I just actually repeated myself like really quickly back to back. I was like, oh crap,
we'll roll with it.
Did I do that? This is the great boss / mini boss.
Yeah.
When I said that one time, I
was like, well, which one is it? I don't even know.
Called it a boss, then directly afterwards called it a mini boss. So
now I'm pretty sure the map is the only dungeon item we get in this part. I think we get like the actual item, the compass, and the boss key all in part. The next part here.
Here's where we're talking about. You can see up in the sky. Yes. I think in the other room we were in, you couldn't really. When we were climbing that vine, you might be able to see the sky a little bit, but one of my favorite, these two rooms, these outside rooms, is one of my favorite parts of this dungeon because one, it adds a little bit of water to the dungeon, but just be able to see out like up into the sky and know that we're outside in those areas. We've always loved being outside in dungeons.
We have. Plus, it really adds more color. Like you've got the grass here, and the vines, the water,
and the sun. You can see that. Well, it looks like the sun is shining down. It looks brighter than the rest of the dungeon. So and I guess it is a dark dungeon, like dark color kind of dungeons. This kind of brightens it up a little bit.
It really does, and we're fans of any time you can get some like contrast.
I'm not a fan of the Octo Rock right there, nailed me. So,
well, I'm not a fan of that treasure chest having nothing in it but a heart. Yeah, not even a piece of heart, just like to refill your hearts.
And one thing that I really tried to focus on as part of the walkthrough for this series is like I try to go around and get every chest in the dungeons, and you'll see throughout that there's just a lot of chests like recovery hearts that are just pointless, and we have a couple more I think in this dungeon.
We do. It's just kind of like a slap in the face. Yeah, like I found this treasure chest, and that's all you're giving me.
I love the designs they have on the wall right there. Like one thing the 3DS was like able to do. Those might be in the original version, but I don't think they are.
Again, it's something else that just really pops on the 3DS version.
And then going back to like we thought this place like used to be something, and it's kind of important. Like this whole sewer system down here kind of gives me that feel like why is there like a sewer system or like a drainage down here? I mean, it really makes you think, what was this place back in the day?
Plus, look how tall it looks when you're climbing up those vines. Like, it looks
fort.
Like...
it could be a fort. Like, we haven't actually brought the fort. I think we said, mansion, castle?
Mansion or a castle.
It's definitely possible it could be a fort.
I think so. And it makes it look like there's so much more to it that we don't explore as well. Like, it does look so tall. We don't go that high up in this dungeon. So... And I wonder what else is underground, too, besides that one little stretch.
Well, that's all we get shown. Well, actually, the boss room we get to later on will also be in the basement.
Oh, that's true.
I hate that basement room. And I hate this next room we're coming up to. I guess I should, I'm going to say it.
Just say it.
Like, I don't, like, this used to be, like, no, I'm not going to say it. It used to be, I'm going to say it. I'm going to change my mind.
You got to roll
This used to be my favorite, I didn't want to spoil anything. This used to be my favorite dungeon. And I've, like, kind of, changed my opinions on that.
Yep.
And one of the main reasons I've changed my opinions on that is because of this room right here. This whole block puzzle, it takes too long, really.
It really does.
It's just kind of tedious, in my opinion.
It's like for all the things that they did.
I just went back and forth like 20 times right there.
At first, I thought you were just killing time until we actually got in the room.
I didn't want to spoil it. That I didn't want to talk about it. That I didn't want to undersell. I just kept on going back and forth on it. So
and we didn't want to stop. We were just going to keep going. But like of all the things that they changed for the 3DS version, it would have been nice if they would have just sped up the process of pushing these blocks. I mean, I guess we could have fast-forwarded the video for you.
Well, that's just
we try not to do that.
That's editing points to that. I don't want to deal with it if I don't have to. So
exactly. That's more difficulties.
But, and then, like, you'll see later on, there's also some backtracking. Like, this room kind of combined with the backtracking is really taking this dungeon down a lot for me. Yep. And that's one of the cool things about, like, what we do with Zelda is like we've actually gone through and played these games kind of really multiple times.
Definitely.
Since we started in like you'll hit a dungeon that was awesome the first or the second time or that was bad. And then the more and more you play, you might see a different way. And the Force Temple
really do.
is one of those things, hands down, used to be my favorite dungeon.
Yep.
And it's no longer that way because I played so many times.
Yep.
I started seeing other things I didn't like with it.
The more you play these games, like the little things that kind of bother you just a hair, definitely start to stand out a little bit, and like little annoyances like pushing those stupid blocks. And this isn't the only dungeon that does that.
No,
but this one room is
what's a maze too, like which is fine. I'm cool with the maze and the block. I'm cool with the block puzzle maze. It's a little bit too much and just took a little too long. And then backtracking later on, we gotta like walk all the way back up around here and just it just kind of threw me off to the dungeon. But
backtracking is not our strong
It's
suit.
still one of my favorite dungeons,
exactly,
so we're not gonna sit here and bash it too much because it's got a lot of great characteristics to it. Also,
I say we're
definitely.
splitting.
Well, I think it's a great first adult dungeon because it feels so mature.
It really does.
You know, compared to the child dungeons that we had. So just that eerie feeling really made it stand out.
Especially now that, like, Hyrule is this dark place that Ganondorf's taken
over.
Point.
That's a good point.
Having a darker dungeon here. Well, this wraps up part 30.